In corners where understeer is strong, just pull the e-brake. It's best not to use it too much, but you can do it when you're still learning. Oops, that was understeering right there. Here again. My drifting is a bit wild, isn't it? That corner entry began as a braking drift, but towards the exit I switched to dynamic drifting. Here I'm power drifting at the exit. This is how I do it. That's almost like dynamic because I only touch the brakes just a bit. It's a combination of braking and dynamic. Brake and shift down to second. Ride the brakes a little, then transfer the weight to the front. And from here, it's power drifting. I'm going uphill here, so I'll give it a little more braking so that I can get a stronger weight shift and leave a little braking here as well. On the S-curves, the think drift should be used. It goes like this. Anyway, like I said, what you do is the same no matter where you go. In braking drifts, just remember to leave that foot on the brake until the weight starts to shift, synchronizing it with your downshifting to third and to second gear. The car will automatically turn in, and then the car will either lose front grip or lose traction in the rear. You let the rear lose grip by adjusting the brake pedal.
Let's check out how the S14 is acting on this final corner from the outside camera. This well-balanced S14 Silvia goes into braking drift by a light touch of braking and smooth steering work. This time, let's check the onboard footage from another lap. Look at the braking. Just like at Ebisu Circuit, Tsuchiya is getting the tail to slide by pumping lightly on the brake. As Tsuchiya countersteers, the G-balls are intact and moving towards the rear very smoothly. A beautiful drift must have smooth weight transition. Pay attention to the angle of his countersteering and throttle control.
Okay, like I said, there are cars that don't turn well, resulting in strong understeering. Here we have the Hachiroku and the S13, both which are notorious for understeering and weak front traction. If the car is this low, I don't think the suspension has enough travel. Anyway, even with cars like this, you can get them to go sideways. But how? Well, let's try it out. What do you do if you think there's going to be understeer? Remember, pull the e-brake. After braking, and if the weight doesn't shift enough, what do? Pull the e-brake. Then you turn, just like this. It's the same here too. If the weight won't shift, e-brake it. It's the same at the next corner as well. No weight shifting, then pull the e-brake. And this time, use the brake pedal to turn back. That wasn't so hard, right? I'm standing here at the first hairpin curve on the Mate circuit. I'd like to demonstrate the different drifting procedures with different cars. The S14 Silvia has good front grip and a good weight up front, which enables the car to turn easily. All I had to do was create and control the weight transition with my braking. In contrast, the S13's front grip is terrible. Yes, like your car, probably. If you install one of K-Office suspensions, it will go away, but I'm not here to advertise my product, so let's move on. Okay, you start. This is the first corner. You're climbing up to around here, and understeer is strong going uphill. And with the S14, I could easily turn into the corner with a little steering work, and by riding the brakes a little. The S13 and the Hachiroku won't turn enough because it needs more front-end weight. So what do? I give it stronger braking in order to create stronger weight shift to the front. Actually, the braking I do here is the equivalent to how long and strong I brake with the e-brake. Remember, always to shift more weight towards the front end. So here you're going uphill, and when you reach the top, you start braking. And as you turn into the corner, ride the brakes longer compared to what you would do on an S14. Then the rear end will start to slide. From here, you just smile and step on the gas to power drift right out from the corner. Next up is a champion for oversteering, the MR2. I mean, these types of cars won't stop once it starts going around. Just like the NSX, these mid-engine layout cars have light front ends and heavier rears, which makes them spin happy. Ooh, that was close. When I ride the brakes like I did with the S14, this happens. Adjusting the pressure you brake with and how long you brake entering the corner is the key here. The difference between the S14 and the MR2 is the braking power you apply. The braking time I ride into the corner is only about half of what I did with the S14. Right here, I quit braking already. And the braking pressure itself will be weaker compared to the S14. Of course, the method to decrease speed is exactly the same, but here, you leave the brakes on. That's the difference. Here, you begin your countersteer a bit earlier. That's how you keep control and drift with understeer.